If you're manifesting, just listen. Never forget that the conscious mind is the only actor in the universe and in man. That the unconscious or subjective mind is compelled by reason of its nature to accept, and that it can never reject, that the body is in effect with no intelligence of its own. Ernest Holmes. If you are consciously manifesting, and I'm assuming if you're watching the manifestation content that you probably are, that there's some desire out there that's keeping you interested in the content. If you are, your conscious mind, let's say awareness, is dictating to the subconscious the instructions to deliver whatever it is that you're consciously choosing for yourself from moment to moment to moment to moment. And honestly, all there ever is this right now moment. Hear that again. The subjective mind, or the unconscious, which, is your subconscious mind, is compelled by reason of its nature. Well, what does that mean? Reason of its nature. Its nature is the law. The law. We could say the law of one, the law of the universe. What is that law? The law of I am. Whatever you choose consciously to be, to know yourself as, is the law. And the subconscious mind is doing its job by its nature. Here again, it is compelled to bring about for you in 3D reality whatever it is you desire. I cannot stress this enough. No matter how real, how solid, how serious your circumstances are, the subconscious is compelled by the conscious mind to do what you decide. It is always, in every moment, showing you who you know yourself to be. There is so much content out there that, in a sense, fearmongers, makes you afraid of your subconscious mind, as if the subconscious is holding beliefs against your will, and that it takes this ever or never ending struggle to fix, to remove. That's just simply not true. The subconscious mind is compelled, must do whatever the conscious mind decides. So it's a matter of who you are. And as I often end my videos with, well, then who the hell are you? Who do you know yourself to be? Because that's the only thing that matters. What you know, what you accept as the truth for you. So who are you? Let's go a little further with Ernest Holmes. In metaphysical healing, we are conscious that we are dealing with a universal principle or law, which takes the impress of our thoughts and acts upon it. Nothing can stop it. Nothing. Not scary circumstances, experiences, your specific person, the banks, your employer. Nothing can stop it. The conscious mind is the boss, essentially. It's the boss. Your subconscious cannot deny who you know yourself to be. It just acts. It just does its job. We are dealing with something that cannot and does not answer back nor argue. So quite honestly, when you think that things aren't going the way you want them to, when you feel like you're not going to get your desire, that is you just deciding that for yourself. It's not because secretly the universe, God, higher power, source energy, moonbeams, your subconscious mind willfully preventing you from having the life you want. It never is. It's compelled. That's a pretty big word. Compelled. It must. It must listen. And I just realized that we're almost 5 minutes or more in, and I never said hi. So how you doing, my fellow flawless, limitless, sexy, sassy, saucy HBICs? How are you on this lovely morning, afternoon, or evening? How are you all? I hope you're all doing fabulous, and I hope you're all choosing to be the versions of yourself that have exactly what you want. I hope that's what you're doing. If you're new here, how you doing? I'm Kimberly, and I'm assuming that you're consciously manifesting something right now. That's why you're watching this content. And maybe you're just like me. You don't like to wait. You like to get what you want. And you're interested in everything manifestation and consciousness too. So if you can handle my sass, my sarcasm, and my random ability here, random ability. I think I just made a word. I don't know that that's actually a word. Random ability. Randomly. But not random ability. Yeah, regardless. If you can handle all of that, I would love for you to subscribe and be my new friend, and let me know in the comments below that you are a new subscriber, because if I see that comment, you will hear back from me. Thank you very much. But if you're here and you're wondering, why the hell is she reading from Ernest Holmes? Well, that's because in my Advanced Manifestors, which I like to call the VIP Advanced Manifestors, this is what we're currently studying. It's Ernest Holmes, The Science of Mind. Ernest Holmes says a lot of things that are very similar to Neville Goddard. So if you enjoy reading Neville, you would probably enjoy reading Ernest as well. And Ernest speaks a little differently. He basically, what we're calling, hey, I'm manifesting this or that, he calls it, I'm treating. It's a treatment. And a practitioner is, I'm going to say, it's the manifester. It's the one manifesting. Calls it a practitioner. Since this law is infinite, there is no incurable disease as opposed to a curable one. The law knows nothing about disease. It only acts. The practitioner says, my word is the presence, power, and activity of the truth, which is within me, which is almighty, which is God. There is none other. This word then is the law of the thing whereunto it is spoken, and has within itself the ability, the power, and the intelligence to execute itself through the great law of all life. This word, being the spontaneous recognition of living spirit, infinite, ever-present, and active, is now completely manifested in and through this person or thing about which the practitioner is thinking. So in other words, you could be manifesting for yourself, and you could be manifesting for someone else in your life. And I would say anybody manifesting a specific person, think of this is how we're able to manifest our specific person. This is how we bring in different versions of whoever in our life. It's through this law. And often in the manifestation community, you hear about the conscious mind versus the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind gets a damn bad rap because a lot of the content out there can make us feel like that subconscious mind is holding things and then, manifesting things we don't like in our reality. You are not only the observer of thoughts, feelings, emotions, but you're also the observed, right? You are reality. Your perception of reality is who you are. I saw a comment the other day where someone suggested that, please don't use circumstances, don't use negative circumstances for examples, because I don't want to hear them. Why? Why don't you want to hear them? Am I the God of your reality? Do I hold power in your reality? No, I don't. And neither does anybody else. It's all you. It is all you. Someone speaking in a video cannot make something manifest in your reality. You're it, and the law works that way. You're it. Your subconscious mind is compelled. I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. So whatever it is you're manifesting, all that's ever needed to bring that thing about in your reality is for you to decide that is who you are. Because in every moment, you, as I am, are choosing it, selecting it. Nothing out here is set in stone. Nothing is permanent if you don't want it to be. We are stuck with nothing. And I know that's been in a lot of my content lately. I'm really hammering that point home because we have to remember that even when we're experiencing things that are uncomfortable, we don't walk around living in fear. We don't walk around living, experiencing, being someone afraid to hear someone else's circumstances. And listen, I'm going to be honest. If you are that person, I really would ask, who do I actually think I am? I don't mean that as a judgment. I don't mean it as a judgment. I'll give you an example. I don't like hearing anything about mistreatment of animals. I don't like hearing it. The other day, there was a video on, as I was scrolling through TikTok, and someone was, talking about the the race for mayor in California, in Los Angeles, excuse me. And they were talking about some of the things that are happening on the streets to dogs in particular. And I heard one sentence, and I literally was like, la, 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 as I tried to get it off my screen, because I don't like hearing negative circumstances. But it's not because I think if I dare to hear it, that it's going to bring me more of it. I don't like to hear it because it makes me feel bad for whoever is the one experiencing it, but not because I'm afraid there will be more. The perfect timing of her showing up. Because I don't let outside circumstances take over who I am. Now, I allow myself to feel what I'm feeling in the moment. Just like I said, it makes me feel bad to hear about abuse. And to be honest, abuse of anyone, any animal, innocent people, I don't like hearing it. Because I feel for that. I feel for that person, that animal, but I don't give the power away to it. This is what I'm trying to say. You can have your feelings, you can have your emotions, but they don't decide who you are for you unless you're letting them. And before you woke up to conscious manifestation, you were someone letting them. All of us were. We were conditioned to do that. We didn't know any better, but now we do. And this law is an impersonal law, meaning you have the free will to be whoever you want to be. You have the free will to decide or fill in the blank. I am blah. You can blah, blah, blah all you want. It can be negative as hell. You can keep telling yourself that you are the version of yourself that doesn't have what he or she wants in this subject area or that subject area. You can keep saying it. And you get to keep experiencing it because that is who you accept yourself as. You have that free will. Well, it doesn't just work in the negative direction. It works in the other. So sincerely, who do you know yourself to be? Now, maybe you're someone watching this and you're thinking, you know what? I'm aware that I want to manifest my specific person. I'm aware that I want to be a multimillionaire. But even thinking about my specific person or even thinking about multi-millions or any other thing you might be manifesting, I don't feel good. I feel anxiety when I'm thinking about it. Maybe because there are upsetting circumstances or frustrations in reality for you. Okay, then don't go there yet. Rest in the knowing that you are source, that you even have the option to fill in the blank, I am what, in any way you choose. Go to just knowing you're already whole, perfect, whole, and complete. You are that. You must be. Whatever exists at all must be the result of a definite image of thought held in the mind of God or the Absolute, who is the cause of all. Whether we think of man as a projection of God, an emanation of God, a manifestation, or a reflection of God, we must realize that God, or the first cause, holds man in his consciousness as a perfect being, since the perfect mind could not conceive of an imperfect idea. So you are already in this moment a perfect being, perfect, whole, complete, divine. If, on the other hand, we think of man as a part of God, which some schools of thought teach, which we do know that there are people out there who aren't comfortable of thinking of themselves as sorts. So they think of themselves as maybe just a part of God, a particle of God, which doesn't matter to me, by the way. Doesn't matter, because hear me out. We should then have to realize that man, as a part of the divine being, must inherently be perfect. This is a conclusion which is unavoidable. But man does not appear to be perfect. He certainly appears to have many experiences which are far from ideal. There can be no question but the human man suffers, is sick, and has pain, and eventually dies. To doubt this would be to doubt the evidence of the only quality we possess whereby we may consider ourselves conscious beings at all. We must then reconcile our conclusion of perfection with an experience which is apparently not perfect. While man must be and is a divine image or a perfect idea, yet he suffers and is sick. In other words, we're all aware that we have had shitty circumstances here and there, right? The answer to this is the same answer which can be given philosophically to the whole problem of evil. That man is an individual and does with himself what he wills. The scriptures say God hath made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions, meaning all these different versions of ourselves. Individuality cannot be automatically produced, but must be spontaneous. It could not be real individuality unless it had the ability to think as it chose. And it could not be individuality unless its ability to think as it chose were backed by a power to produce this choice. Man gave us free will. God gave us free will. Because if nothing ever happened as the result of man's choice, he would live in a dream world and his dreams would never come to objectification. This would be a world of illusion, but man has the ability to choose and is unified with a law which automatically produces his choice, whereas he does not have the ability to destroy the idea of himself. He does have the ability to deface it, to make it appear discordant, but he cannot destroy the divine image, meaning no matter what you believe about yourself. So let's say right now that you're someone who's been manifesting a specific person and, a third party is now in the equation. There's been a part of you who has probably been believing at some point that you weren't good enough, you weren't chosen. And I'm not saying it has to be those things. I'm giving it as just a simple example. That love sucks, or men or women, they always cheat. And that's why this is happening. Love is never going to work out for you. Blah, 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 blah. That is you making it appear, making yourself appear discordant, defaced. But you didn't stop being divine. The divine part doesn't leave. The I am doesn't leave you. This is what I'm saying, that the I am, your divinity, is always there. And God gave you free will to be any version of yourself that you want to be. And all it takes is your conscious decision to be who you want to be. Nothing in reality is permanent. Now, I know the way Ernest Holmes may have just worded that sounds like, because we hear in the manifestation community, it's all an illusion, right? This is all an illusion. And here Ernest Holmes is saying it's not an illusion. He had a poor choice of words, meaning he was describing reality probably to make people who are very logical really understand his point that if God hadn't given you free will to be any self that you wanted to be, then you wouldn't have the individuality. You wouldn't be experiencing reality as this individual point in consciousness. No, to be individual is to be able to make that free will choice. And that is what you're doing every moment. And the only reason why life might be feeling like it's been like a past, present, future historical experience, like one link in the chain after another, is because that is how our subconscious mind, and I'm going to say along with the conscious mind, agreeing that it appears as what makes logical sense from moment to moment to moment. But really, it's been individual frames. And we are all in that habit of pulling the past with us into this now moment. We've all been conditioned to do it. When the truth is, whatever you were doing 10 seconds ago is completely not related, completely separate, optional. But I know it doesn't feel that way, but it's true. None of your history up until this very second as we're talking matters. It only feels like it comes with you into the next future moment. It's because we've been conditioned to perceive it that way, that it doesn't matter and it's all changeable because there's only ever now. So the stories that you've been telling yourself, how you've narrated your life is changeable if you yourself allow yourself to change. And by change, I just mean by changing the definition you're giving it, by making a new decision in who you are. And if you're new to my channel, you constantly hear me say, decision, decision, decision. The decision is you deciding to be the you that has whatever it is you're manifesting. So if you were someone manifesting to be a multimillionaire, your decision is to know yourself as being a multimillionaire. That's your decision. If you're manifesting a relationship with a specific person, your decision is to know yourself as someone in a loving, fulfilling, committed relationship with your specific person's name. That's what your decision is. It's as simple as that. And this law is that simple. And the subconscious mind is compelled to act upon your conscious decision or what you're choosing to be aware of in this moment as awareness. So there's nothing out of our reach. There is nothing that cannot be manifested. Even the wackadoodle taboo stuff, all of it is a possibility. So on that note, my hair's driving me crazy today. I don't know. The day I wash it, it just bugs the shit out of me. I like the day 2 hair. Why is that relevant to a manifestation video? It's not. So on that note, I'll see y'all tomorrow.